Hey everyone, Miss Michaela back with Book Connection, and I've been joined by Mick, who's laughing at me once again. That's our friendship, I guess. Today we are going to be talking about math books and baking books because we are doing this in honor of Pi Day, March 14th. It's also Albert Einstein's birthday, which I told you sometimes.
Yes.
So, as usual, I'm going to be presenting our kids' books, and Mick is going to be presenting our adult books, and she has brought several objects.
So that you can explain to the younger viewers what Pi
This
Day
is a circle.
Really about.
It's all about the discovery of the measurement that was used to calculate the circumference of circles, 3.14, and a whole bunch of numbers after.
The ratio of the circumference to the diameter of the...
You know I'm not a math major,
It's
right?
a constant. No matter how big the circle is.
I was an art major.
The ratio is
on
the same.
purpose. Archimedes discovered pi. That's all I have to contribute. There we go.
There we go. Moving right along.
I really just did this because I wanted an excuse to eat pizza. So, let's move on to our books. So my first book is Circumference and the Dragon of Pi, a Math Adventure. So I chose this book because the title seemed appropriate, honestly, and I love me some dragon books. So it's a cute little picture book that sort of introduces mathematical concepts. It has very pretty illustrations in it. And it's a cute little read. It does throw a few math equations in there, just, you know, for fun. But it's not too bad. It's a nice way to introduce mathematical equations to a child that maybe doesn't like math so much. I was that child. And it was adorable, so it's fun for parents to share too. My next book, because Pi Day is also Albert Einstein's birthday, is Albert Einstein and Relativity for Kids, His Life and Ideas with 21 activities and thought experiments. So I really liked this book because it breaks things down in a really interesting way, and it goes throughout his whole life and his career. And again, it provides cute, easy little experiments that you can do right in your own home.
Oh, cool.
So this one right here is the speed of light exercise. And all you need for it is a microwave, 2 paper plates, a large chocolate bar, a ruler, a calculator, or computer. But, you know, they're nice, quick, easy little experiments that you can do at home. And again, I really liked the pictures and illustrations. That's a big part of why I choose almost any book.
Well, engages kids.
And me.
Well, that's to be said.
Being honest.
Okay.
This is who I am as a person. Another way that people like to celebrate Pi Day is by eating or baking pies. We brought a pizza pie, a veggie pizza pie. And another fun way to teach your kids math is to teach them how to bake. So I brought Who Can, You Can, Maker Comics, Bake Like a Pro. And this is a whole series, so there's like Maker Comic for costuming, mechanics, I think, and a couple of other things, but I brought baking. So since it is a graphic novel, of course, plenty of illustrations. It has a lovely image of what butter looks like at varying degrees. This last one at 95 degrees, if you check it out, you can see him being torturously melted. Who doesn't want that? But this is a really cute little book, and again, there's a whole series that we carry here at the Downtown Library and also at Cavalry Hills. So I would recommend that. From our teen side, I'm actually going to present this book. Oh, not that one. I thought I grabbed 2 of the Painless ones. But this is Painless Pre-Algebra, and honestly, I wish I had this when I was taking Pre-Algebra in middle school.
It's a good series.
Because,
for all ages, actually.
that cat on the cover
describes
me.
you during math.
Yes. That was especially me when I attempted calculus. I don't know why I thought I could do calculus. Like
integrals. God help. Yes.
Yeah. You know how, like, when you have advisors and counselors and they just lie to you and say, you can do this? Know yourself.
It was a challenge. I remember.
It was a word I can't say right now because this is a family-friendly show. But sure, we can use the word challenge. But Painless Pre-Algebra is a good book for those of you that are struggling with math. There's also Painless Algebra, Painless Geometry. Again, a nice series for those of you that are not so mathematically inclined. Just for the sake of shouting it out, I'll go ahead and show off Raspberry Pi for Kids, which we carry in our juvenile nonfiction. We also have a biography of Albert Einstein, but minus the experiment, so really go with this one. And for those of you that are looking to throw in a little bit of fiction, Pie in the Sky by Wendy Mass. So I only showed those because Mick brought a whole entire stack to shame me with. So I'm going to pass it over to her now.
I called to her.
Did you? Okay,
yes,
I'm going to eat my pizza
now. The first one that I found intriguing is called The Grapes of Math, How Life Reflects Numbers and Numbers Reflect Life by Alex Bellos. His first book you might be familiar with. Here's looking at Euclid. The man has a talent for titles, is what I'm saying. This is, I think, of the two math books that I brought, this is an example of something that is written for the man off the street, is that what the average person, who's maybe slightly interested in mathematics. And so I found it relatively easy to understand.
Are average people interested in math like that, though?
I think so.
Okay.
The one part of the book that I like when discussing pi in particular is the fact that not everyone agrees that pi is a good way of describing what the elegance of a circle. Bob Pohlen, I think it was, an American mathematician around 2001, he decided that we should be using the circumference and the radius instead of the circumference and diameter, because we usually don't use the diameter for anything else other than pi. So they later baptized that as sort of should be called tau, another Greek thing. But my big thing on that was fine, but then we wouldn't be celebrating Pi Day today. So
good.
One should take this into account. Interesting book, then. Also, The Universe in Zero Words, The Story of Mathematics is Told Through Equations by Dana Mckenzie. He has a doctorate in mathematics at Princeton. This, again, written for the layman, illustrated though. And the illustrations are extremely helpful in explaining. And it's simply, he just talks about the world through the equations that it revolves around. And so pi, of course, is, and it's based on 24 specific equations that he talks about. Pi is one of them. When calculating pi before computers, it was a wee bit of a challenge. And William Shanks, I think, right before the discovery of computers, was able to compute it to 707 digits. So that's 3 point, and then he did 7 or 7. Unfortunately, he made a mistake in number 527, so they were all wrong after that, but still a major accomplishment that I think he should have been proud of. Computers, because of the use of computers, they now have a record of digits beyond 1 trillion after that. So, just in case you were, and I know you're curious.
This book talk is making me feel stupid, and I'm glad that we have pizza for comfort food.
In the spirit of Michaela's interpretation of Pi Day, this is American Pie, My Search for the Perfect Pizza by Peter Reinhardt. If anybody's familiar with Peter Reinhardt, if you're a bread baker, he's the one that wrote Bread Baker's Apprentice, an extremely great baker.
Mick said she would bake me bread.
Oh, later.
Oh.
He begins his journey in Genoa, where he did their fabled focaccia formaggio, and then Rome for a 7-foot-long pizza al taglio, and then Naples for a pizza Napoleano, excuse me, my favorite. And then it ends up in Phoenix, Arizona, of all places, at the Pizzeria Bronco. It's just, after he's done with the travels and he discusses those, the rest is a master class in pizza, making 60 different recipes. So again,
That
highly
is a Pie
recommended
Day book. I
by
would
pie
read.
people. My all-time favorite use of pies is pot pies. I'm a really big favor. This is Pot Pies Comfort Food Undercover by Diane Phillips. One of her books was nominated for a Beard. Party Foods, the Beard Award, James Beard Award, one of her books. My only problem with this one, and I find fascinating in here, the ham pot pie topped with scalloped potato gratin. It's my kind of pot pie. Fortunately for the poor woman, there's no illustrations. And I don't know, my husband is one of those people that reads cookbooks and wants to have pictures. So
That's the only reason I look at a cookbook is for that.
And then last but not least, one of my favorites, The Art of the Pie by Kate Mcdermott. I don't know if you remember, she's a self-taught chef. She has pie camps where she goes all over the country. She's very good. She's very specific about the small details that will make an average cook like myself be able to do something very well. My personal favorite that I have made, and people have not died after eating, is her peach berry pie. Comes highly recommended. Pie, as we talked about, is mentioned in a lot of things. One movie, Contact, I don't know if you're, when she comes back after her interaction with aliens, she discovers, or there's a hint that there's a message in the calculation of pi that was put there by the aliens. Interesting discussion on that. And the man who knew, infinity, about, what was this called? I always forget his name. Excuse me? Ramanujan.
All right.
He, a mathematician, and who did come up with some helpful methods of determining the integers for pi. We also have a biography in the Youth Services Department that we'll talk about, and one in the Adult Services that talks about his life.
I have not read that, but the lead actor on the cover of that case is quite handsome.
Okay, that's all I have today. So we will continue to eat our pizza, and thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you so much. Bye.